Today will be a day to remember for the rest of your life. The Pro Football Hall of Fame is excited to present the heart of a Hall of Famer program connected by Extreme Networks. With over 100 Hall of Famers participating, we have reached 47 states and countries all over the world, sharing the message that football is more than a game and can teach Americans important life values like commitment, integrity, courage, respect, and honesty.
But you have to make right decisions even when nobody's watching you.
Well, respect is not just given out. It's not handed out like a brochure. It's earned.
Today, you are presented with an opportunity to meet and learn from one of the greatest football players of all time. But more important than that, the chance to see that their Hall of Fame life wasn't given to them. They didn't roll out the bed great. They put the work in, on the field, in the weight room, in the classroom, in their communities. They made themselves a Hall of Famer on and off the field.
Your feet can't take you where your mind's never been.
Because you can make it, but it's just gonna take a little hard work and some effort and the drive and determination.
And today, you will learn you can do the same thing they did. You don't have to have a gold jacket or a bronze bust to make a difference in the lives of others. It's your decision whether you want to be a successful student, son, daughter, brother, or sister.
If attitudes are contagious, is your attitude worth catching?
It's integrity as well, because when you decide to pursue something and you don't quit, that says a lot about you.
Commitment to excellence. We can all aspire to be the best.
Welcome to a once-in-a-lifetime program, the heart of a Hall of Famer program, connected by Extreme Networks.
I was 10 years old. I think it was 1962, Jim. You guys played the Detroit Lions on Thanksgiving Day. They call it the Thanksgiving Day Massacre. I went with my dad and my four brothers to that game. And I don't know if you guys remember this, but you guys got the bad seats. Me and Dad got to sit on the 50. I held Dad's hand and I said, Dad, someday I'm going to play in this game. He didn't doubt me for a minute. He said, when you do, I'm going to be there. 1978, time passed. My father had a heart attack like maybe 3 or 4 weeks before that game. Long story short, we played the game. Jim Ringo told me, I never seen you play a game that hard. I played it because I said, my dad's not going to be there. I walk out of the locker room, there he is. And I go, Dad, what are you doing here, man? You shouldn't even be here. You're crazy? He said, don't you remember 1962? I'm not going to miss this for the world. And that's a true story.
And with that, welcome to Hardeeville Junior Senior High School for another installment of our Heart of a Hall of Famer series connected by Extreme Networks, featuring Pro Football Hall of Famer Joe DeLamielleure. My name is Jack Prusser. I am the Youth Education and Leadership Coordinator here at the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and it ours mission at the Hall of Fame to honor the greatest of the game, preserve its history, promote its values, and to celebrate excellence together. When we talk about values, the specific values we'll be talking about today include commitment, courage, honesty, integrity, and respect. We believe at the Hall of Fame that those values not only help make Joe DeLamielleure a Pro Football Hall of Famer, but also a great man on and off the field. Before we do get started, though, I like to send out a few thank yous. First off, thank you to our great partners at Extreme Networks for allowing us to come to your school today, but to schools all across the country to get to do this program and speak on the messages that we can learn, the values the game of football teaches us. Secondly, I'd like to thank the teachers and administrators, specifically at Hardeeville Junior Senior High, for allowing us to come in here and engage with you today, but also to the schools tuning in remotely and to then the teachers then showing us the program, to the future of their students as well. And then lastly, I'd like to thank you guys, students today, right? Without you, this program would just be me sitting up here talking to Joe, which I wouldn't mind, but what a great opportunity for you guys to get to engage and learn from one of the greatest to ever do it. And one more thing is, for those watching on our YouTube live stream, feel free to leave your name and what school you're watching from, and hopefully we'll get to your questions as well. And also tag us at Pro Football HOF, and we'll hopefully get to reshare your posts too. Okay, I'm done with my little monologue here, so let's give Pro Football Hall of Famer Joe DeLamielleure a round of applause. Okay, Joe, I did a lot of talking there for a little bit, so they're probably tired of hearing me. So let's get you started here with one of my favorite questions off the bat. We talked about those values that we can learn right from the game of football: commitment, courage, honesty, integrity, and respect. Out of those, what value really kind of hits home to you?
Respect.
Respect?
That's number one. Because if you respect people, you hear their opinions. It's not all about one side. So I say that because I'm one of 10 kids. My dad went to third grade. My mother went to eighth grade. And I was the ninth of 10. Now you guys are sitting there, what the heck happened? So when I went to school, I didn't even go to kindergarten. My dad said, you're not going there. You're wasting your time. What are you going to be doing? Coloring when you're 18? No. My dad had a bar and all the kids worked in it. Everybody, my sisters, we had 5 boys, 5 girls. And we had that bar and no one in my family ever drank. No one. No one ever smoked. Because we didn't do what, like, follow this guy. You watch him, you'll be a good guy. Or go talk to him, he'll tell you that. Don't talk to him, watch him. Because you are what you are when nobody's watching. And you're a good person or crazy nut if you're, just going to screw around all the time. But that's how I grew up. Well, and it was fun too. We had one bathroom, no lock, no washer, no dryer, and 10 kids in the house, plus my grandpa, who's senile, lived with us. And we were in Detroit. Everybody goes, how'd you get out of there? We just had fun. And my mother and dad always made me go to church, our whole family. And that's what I believe. Now my wife and I have raised 10 kids, and we have 4 of our own. We adopted 2 Korean boys. I was coaching in Charlotte, and we needed to get some football players. So I went to the schools, the minority schools, the black schools. I said, look, I can get these guys in a private school if they have good grades. So they go ahead. So I got 4 kids. They all graduated from college, every one of them, and played football in college. Now they're dads and they got kids, and they have all done great. But it's not what you say, it's what you do. You guys can, hey, you be good. Well, what are you doing, Dad? You're a jerk. You're drinking, you come home and drink, do this, do that, yell at everybody. You can't do that. You gotta live your life like you want your children to live.
Yeah. No, that makes, a lot of sense, right? Respect, right? It's a mutual thing, right? And you mentioned it's how you act when, nobody's
when
around.
Nobody's around, how you act. That's it.
And then that's a message that you guys can all take, right? Respecting your teachers, right? Respecting your family, your friends. That's very important. And, you kind of touched on it. You grew up in a family, with 10 kids and a big family all in one house, right? And you had to respect your brothers, your sisters, and your parents, right? This is a confined living space. And
there's a lot of humor. I slept with my 2 older brothers. I was a bedwetter till I was 7. They'd be in bed. What happened? I don't know. I'd go bathroom, change my underwear, jump back in bed. They go, this guy's wetting the bed every night. Shut up, get back in bed, all you kids. But that's just how it was. There was no negotiating with your parents at that point. A lot of times you can negotiate with your parents. I see some of these guys shaking their head. You live the same way, right? Do whatever your parents tell you to do.
Yeah. And you mentioned your father, kind of having that impact on you, but I kind of want to ask, was there anybody else, really a coach, teammate, that kind of influenced your career? And what was something you kind of took away from them? Kind of like a mentor almost.
Well, Jim Ringo coached me, and when I got drafted in the first round, which that was a miracle. I never thought that ever happened. So he drafted me in the first round, and I only weighed 238 pounds back then. And I was a guard. When I played, I was only 250. And he was little, or smaller. And they drafted me in the first round. I go, man, I can't believe this. First round draft pick. So, but he said, hey, you don't have to bully, use all your strength. You gotta use quickness and everything. So I jumped rope for an hour, literally an hour. And then I made sure I had quick feet. And they used to block like this. I'd punch like And now football's turned to that. They punch. I was doing that way before anybody did it. But I had a coach who had great technique. He wasn't a big guy, and he's in the Hall of Fame. And he played for Vince Lombardi. So it's all with teachers. If you have a lousy teacher, it's hard to learn from them, right? You got a great teacher, you learn a lot. It's pretty simple.
Yeah, and that's a good message, right? I think everybody will have somebody that will impact them throughout their life, whether it's in sports, athletics, or even academically, right? And we could take those lessons, right? You mentioned him working with you, him coaching you, him building you up. We can all have that impact on somebody too, right?
Yeah.
And that's very important.
The other thing he taught me was don't be
Yeah.
afraid to try. Like, hey, you're a rookie and you're playing with all these older men. He says, hey, you do what you can do. You got good techniques. So try different things. And you can do that in life. You try different things. If you don't like something, you can go try to be somebody else. There's a lot of jobs out there that you could be good at.
Yeah, I mean,
Lots of them.
Don't be afraid to fail, right? That's
Yeah.
something I think that you guys can take away is try things that you meant, try new things. You may find something you enjoy. You may find something you don't like. You won't know until you do that certain thing. Okay. I'm going to turn it over to your students today, right? What do you guys want to ask Mr. Joe D? What questions do you guys have?
I played with O.J. Simpson too. So pretty famous guy. Everybody knows what O.J. was.
Okay. We have a question here. So go ahead and stand up, say your name, and we'll get to your question here.
You gotta be a basketball player.
What teams did you play for, Joe?
Buffalo and Cleveland. Buffalo and Cleveland.
Buffalo Bills, Cleveland Browns.
I played with O.J. Simpson, who was a great dad. Pardon? That's a Hall of Fame ring, which I never wear. They told me to wear this ring. I never wear it because it's like showing off or something. I got drafted by Buffalo.
Yep.
In the first round. So, but believe me, I came from a neighborhood like this. No one in my family went to college. Nobody. I was the ninth kid. If you told me in high school that I'm going to play in the NFL and be in the Hall of Fame, I'd say, you're out of your mind. There's no way. There's always a way for you. Pardon?
Give you encourage, right?
Yeah, encourage. Yeah. It's kind of a lot easier than people try to make it. It's not like rocket science. If you want to do good, you have to study. You're not going to take a test and pass it if you didn't study, right? So it's the same thing as sports or painting or whatever.
Yep. Kind of tying in there, you started your career with the Bills, Joe, and you got drafted in the first round. What was that process like, getting drafted in the first round and kind of stepping in immediately as a starter for the Bills?
Back then, it's not like it is now, how they have the first pick of this draft. They called us on the phone and said, hey, we just took you in the first round. It wasn't on TV. It wasn't on radio. Nobody knew anything about it. So I called hey, Dad, I got drafted in the first round. The guy who made the call was the owner of the Buffalo Bills. He never told me who he was. He goes, the only person who ever said they were going to draft me is maybe the Pittsburgh Steelers. I said, I think I got drafted by the Steelers. So I hang up the phone. Buffalo calls up. No, buddy. You're with us in Buffalo. You didn't get drafted by Pittsburgh. Little did I know, Pittsburgh wins 4 or 5 Super Bowls. We never won anything. But I played with O.J. Simpson, and he brought a lot of publicity to us.
So, talking about your career a little bit, you went from Buffalo, like a gritty team, and then similar, you go to the Cleveland Browns. What was that transition like from going from Buffalo to Cleveland? Was it an easy one? Right, moving's never easy. It's kind of embracing the change, but what was that going on in your head making that change?
It's pretty good because I grew up in Detroit, so Detroit, Buffalo, Cleveland, right in the same area, and a lot of the same players, because I was in the league for 8 years and you get to know a lot of guys.
Yeah.
And so I had friends who were on Cleveland who were, that I knew. So it wasn't a hard adjustment to go in there and know nobody. It's hard. Like going to school and you don't know anybody. That's difficult. But it was pretty easy transition.
That's good, right? And I like how you touched on going to a new school, right?
Yeah.
Change can be scary, but it's all about embracing that process, embracing the change. And you never know, that change might be the best thing that could happen to you, right?
Oh, yeah. Like we have 4 children. My wife wanted more, but she couldn't have any more. So we adopted 2 Korean boys. And I go, what in the heck do we adopt these guys for after we had them about a year? They didn't speak English. The one kid was like 7. He was in bad. He was on the streets in Korea. And the other one, we got when he was 3 months. So he was more like us, you know, he was civilized. The young kid who came, I told my wife, we go on walks, I go, man, did we make a mistake? This kid is brutal. And I mean, he won't listen to anybody. He'd steal stuff all the time. And anyhow, we just kept him around us, told we expected him. Now he works for Grumman, the shipbuilders in Virginia. It's been with him 20 some years. The guy could put stuff together when he's a real good artist too, but he couldn't. His first day of school, he goes to school and he knows nothing. He didn't know the ABCs, didn't know anything. So he struggled, but through our family, all the kids, they worked with him and he made it out. He's good. He's got 3 kids now. And all those kids have done good because my wife always told the boys, hey, there's rules in this house. There's rules. And if you don't obey them, there's going to be consequences. So that's how we grew up.
That's amazing. You know, having that family, having that connection,
Yeah.
and really, you know, building those strong bonds is something, you know, very important that everybody, you know, should have throughout their life.
And don't be afraid to fail either. Like I got girls, they hardly had any opportunity back when, like you girls all have an opportunity to play sports, right? From this side up. Back when we were, no, girls aren't playing sports. There were no sports for girls. And I had sisters who were better than my brothers, but they never had an opportunity.
Yeah. Embrace the opportunity.
Yep.
One thing that we do like to do with this program, obviously you guys being in South Carolina, I'm sure maybe some of you have made the trip to Canton to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, but those who haven't, you know, as a museum, we hold all different artifacts throughout the game of professional football. But one thing that we do is every Pro Football Hall of Famer gets a bronze bust. So I'm going to send it to my teammate here in Canton, who's going to be live, and he's going to tell you a little bit about what it means to be a Pro Football Hall of Famer.
All right, Jack, thank you very much. Joe, good to see you, my friend. My name is Jerry Shockey. I'm the Senior Director of Youth Education and Leadership here at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And yeah, we are in the most iconic gallery here at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And just to give you an idea of how big of an honor it is to be enshrined here in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, since the game of football has been played at all levels, from Pop Warner to the NFL, there have been about 300 million that have played it throughout its history. There have been about 5 million that have played the game at the college level. There have been about 30,000 that have been paid to play, coach, and officiate the game of football. There are only 382 members of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And the gentleman that you have sitting before you there in South Carolina and all the schools that are connected in over Zoom and YouTube Live, this is who you have the opportunity to speak with, someone who's achieved the pinnacle of success. And so this program is all about that. It's Heart of a Hall of Fame. If you want to be great in anything, there are certain underlying values and character qualities and traits that'll help you be successful in anything you choose to be. And so, Joe, I got a question for you. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you.
Good seeing you.
Yeah, and tell Jerry I said hello as well. And looking forward to seeing you here soon. So, question for you. Okay, this gallery, it's all about legacy, and I know you very well. I know you're a man of faith. I mean, just there's a lot more to this bronze bust than just you when we talk about your legacy. And one of the things I admire most about you, that I've heard the stories over the years, from walking to Buffalo to the funeral that you did, that really didn't know who this person was. But the biggest one that I remember is your old buddy. You ended up pedal biking from East Lansing, Michigan to Mexico to raise money for an orphanage because your friends felt that called his entire life. Why do you do what you do? Why I always hear over and over again just these almost crazy things that to serve people and to help people. Why is that so important to you?
I don't know. My college roommate, he was an orphan. Like he wasn't an orphan. He had brothers and sisters, but he misbehaved all the time. So he's up in Cleveland. They put him in a school like for juveniles. Anyhow, he found a coach. There's coaches in here who paid attention to him, like in high school, and he ended up getting a scholarship to Michigan State. And they put me and him to roommates because our coach said, I'm used to big family. This guy's a nut. And maybe if we could, you know, be friends and learn stuff. My coach said, always take him back to your dad's house because we had a bar there. I mean, who grows up in a bar? Nobody. But he came and we became good friends. And from a lousy student, he was really lucky to get in. He's in on probation. He's a PhD now for special ed. And so we were trying to raise money for an orphanage in Mexico because this is like 20 years ago. So we thought, well, how in the heck can we do that? So we said, we'll bicycle from Michigan State, the 50-yard line, and we'll go down to Matamoros, Mexico, one of the worst spots in the world today. And we open an orphanage there. And we have about, I'd say 20 kids who got their doctorates who are orphans. We've changed their lives because they got educated. And it was the biggest thrill of my life. And I never rode a bicycle. I didn't even have a bicycle in Detroit because you get hit in the car by the traffic. So I bicycled down there and made it. And we made it in 20 days, 2,000 miles, and made my 2 college roommates. And from that, we got an orphanage there, a school. Kids are going to school down there right now today, just like you guys sitting here. And they have nothing. I mean, you guys are going home. At least you have a coach to sit on. These kids had nothing. Every kid that comes to our school, and we keep them there. And if they get good grades and they don't mess up, we try to get them in college. We got a bunch of college graduates and things have happened, but it's not easy. I mean, you know, it sounds, well, you could do this, you could do that. It's not. If it was easy, everybody would do it, right? And anything that's easy, you get all A's, and it's easy, it's a big deal. It's difficult to get all A's and difficult to be in school every day. Don't fall asleep and get up in the morning when you got to. But that's about it. It's just doing it day after day and believing that you're going to make a difference in someone's life. Another kid, I went to Dunkin'. How many guys go to Dunkin' Donuts? Everybody, right? You love chocolate donuts. So I was in Charlotte. We were living in Charlotte. I'm walking by Dunkin' Donuts. I see a kid sitting there selling donuts outside. Be like you with the orange shirt, selling donuts in front of Dunkin' Donuts. I walked up to him. I go, "What are you doing? Why are you selling donuts in front of Dunkin' Donuts? They let you do that?" Yeah, they let me do it. I said, "Why are you selling them?" He stood up. He had 2 prosthetics. He had no legs, this guy. He was 17 years old. I go, "What are you selling donuts for?" "I'm trying to make money so I can buy new legs because the government won't give them new legs once you turn 18. So I said, "Hey, I'll walk from Buffalo to Canton, Ohio, 213 miles. We'll ask people to give us like $1 a mile or whatever I could walk." We raised like $20,000. That kid works for the prosthetic company. And it's just because somebody took time and talked to him and said, "Hey, you're better than what you think you are. You got to believe in yourself." And I hate preaching to people, but there's no magical thing. It's nothing magical. If you want to be good, you got to practice, work at it. And when you practice a lot, you get real cocky because you know you can beat everybody. I knew that I could out-tough anybody. I played against Mean Joe Green, all these guys. "How are you going to do it?" I said, "I kick his butt. What do you think I'm going to do?" And I meant it. I mean, I worked out hard so I won't get hurt. And I jumped rope hard. I ate, you know, I watched what I ate. I didn't drink junk. And I played a long time and never missed a play in practice or a game. That's pretty hard to do. But it's not me, it's God. God put me in a place to help a lot of people. All right.
Well, Joe, thank you very much. And students, I hope you understand that, you know, you don't have to have a bronze bust to do what Joe D does. You have, every one of you have a platform to do good. It might not be walking to Mexico, or it might not be riding a bike to Mexico. It might not be walking from Buffalo, but it might just be helping the person down the street. We all have a platform to make a difference. And so hopefully Joe's stories inspire you to go out and help change someone's life as well. So Jack, I'm gonna send it back to you, my friend.
And I'm not bragging about that stuff. You guys have opportunities that you don't have your eyes open for. Everybody can help somebody and help them up. So
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's having that, talk about support system, but being there for
Yeah.
others and, find about something you're passionate about, right? You talked about these stories of you helping others, right? And you help them find their passion. And that's something, right? Helping somebody,
Yeah.
something that you're passionate
And when you're
about.
doing it, it's not even like I'm
Yeah.
not trying to do anything. It's just what I've been taught my whole life. Just work hard and keep your head up. And that kid who was my roommate, he was an orphan. They put him in an orphanage in Cleveland because he beat so many kids up in 7th, 8th grade. They said they couldn't handle him. So they put him in an orphanage. And he opens an orphanage. How about that? That's a story.
I think the big thing that I took away that message from those is, you start from a rough upbringing or you start from nothing. And then you talked about all the achievements that these people were able to do, coming from, rough backgrounds or not having, a good family or good income, but they really turned their life around and you were now able to achieve greatness, right? And that's something we can all take, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who you are, what you're going,
The other
what's going
thing,
on in your
the
life.
hardest thing in the world would be to be rich.
Yeah.
If you're rich, you're a wuss, right? Then I worry about football because they pay these guys millions of dollars. They're 22, 23 years old. How do you earn that? Oh, I played football. You play football in college and they pay you $1 million to come up. I'm worried about football, how it's going to be because nothing's free in life, nothing. And all of a sudden you're a good football player. Say, hey man, you come to Ohio State or Tennessee, you play football, we're going to give you a football scholarship. So you do good. And then another school comes and says, hey, we'll give you more money. You have nothing can hold you back. You can go wherever you want. But to me, the NFL and our country better wake up. And college more than the NFL. The NFL has nothing to do. College better wake up because you're creating a monster. You have kids who think it's all about money. Then you get the money, you don't know how to handle it, and everybody's after you. They all, hey buddy, how you doing? Let's do this. You got a lot of friends when you got money, but not good friends usually. And it's harder on rich kids sometimes than poor kids.
Yeah. It's all about, right? It's people start coming out of the woodworks when the dollars start flying.
And when your mom and dad yell at you, when you're older, you're going to say, man, am I glad they did that? Or your teachers. Everybody in this class, in this whole room can say, at least you had at least one great teacher, right? That changed your life a little bit. Everybody, the teachers have that. I had 2 6th grade teachers that changed my life. And I know we should be talking about football all the time, but you can't get to football, like professional football. So you got to go through all the training. You got to play high school, college, whatever. But it's the reason you get to be good at stuff is God's blessed you. God looked down on you and said, I'm going to give this guy an opportunity. And when you get the opportunity, you better not blow it.
Yeah.
So it's pretty simple talking. I'm not a big scholar. I used to be like you guys, sleeping when somebody come and talk. So, I mean, everybody's gone through that. Everybody. Kids, girls. I got four or five granddaughters now. They're great athletes. And they're great athletes because we told them, try as hard as you can. And if I got a grandson who shot like a 72 in golf, he's only in 10th grade. And he was like, oh, I could have done better. I said, just enjoy what you got. Nobody shoots a 72 at that age. If you put so much pressure on yourself to be good, you choke. Right, coach? The hardest kid to coach is a kid whose parent is, you so good, Johnny. You are great. Well, the kid thinks he's great. You're not great. You got to show it.
Yeah. We have a few more questions here we'd like to get to. We're going to start with one from our YouTube. We have a school watching. Indian Elementary wants to ask, who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl this year? I don't know if you're still watching the game of
Yeah,
football.
I watch it all the time. I want Buffalo too, but I thought Philadelphia was the best team till I watched them last night. But
Yeah.
if I were going to take a team, I'd take Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Because I like it but more than that, I like their quarterback.
Yeah.
If any team he was on, I'd say that'd be the team that has the best shot. Josh Kelly or
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen.
Yep.
I'm thinking of Jim Kelly with him.
Right.
But he's good. And he's a good guy too. He's
Got a lot of Bills fans in here.
a lot of Bills fans.
Okay.
When they're winning, that's why.
We're going to jump to one of our remote schools, Perry. So whenever you're ready, please step up to the mic. Go ahead and unmute. Say your name and what question you have for Mr. DeLamielleure.
Hey, Joe, this is Scott Nedzwicki from Perry, Ohio. How you doing?
Good.
And we got, I'm a principal and football coach here. We got some old linemen, linebackers listening to your message, and they have some questions for you. So I'm going to bring one up here.
Okay.
The first one is Michael Nedzwicki. He's a linebacker here, and he's going to step up and ask a question too. Go ahead.
Now, his uncle coached me in high school.
That was my dad, Joe.
Oh, it's your dad, Ron.
Yeah. I'm Ron's son.
His dad coached me in high school.
Yeah. All right. Here we go.
What are some situations or events that took place in your life that you would say had a significant impact on your character?
The biggest in football?
Like significant, things throughout your career that had an impact on your character. Could be in the game of football, but
I would do football because everybody likes football.
Who's that?
It was O.J. Simpson because he was the greatest football player of all time. I mean, when we were your age, everybody knew O.J. And he went from being the greatest to what? What's everybody think of him? Kill people, right? And I like O.J. We were friends, but it really impacted me because I said, man, you don't know what's going on in somebody's head. Yep. So I always thought that was my biggest impact. And he was a good guy. You'd love him. Everybody in there would love him. But something went wrong.
Right.
All right. Hey, Joe, we got one more. Cam, I'm going to ask a question to you. He's a linebacker for us.
How's it going? My name is Cam Austin. And my question is, what character qualities do you believe it takes to be a Hall of Famer?
Oh, character qualities you believe that it takes to be a Hall of Famer?
There's all kinds of them, but it's persistence is one. Is that one of the qualities or
that
perseverance?
Can be. Perseverance.
Perseverance, because not everything's going to go easy for you.
Right.
So I think that's the most important one. Don't get discouraged if it's not going good right away, because there's always bumps in the road. And work hard. And it's not work, play hard. I don't know if that's on there either, but it's just hustle, play, and enjoy it.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Say goodbye to Mr. Nedzwicki.
One of the
All right, Joe. See ya.
Bye.
One of the questions we do like to ask, Joe, is, we're speaking to high school students right now. And if you could go back in time and, you walk in the door, you see Joe DeLamielleure at his high school age, what's something you would tell him? What is a piece of advice that you would give, right? We've talked a lot of
as a high school kid.
As a high school kid.
First of all, find a good girlfriend. Got to do that. My wife was my best friend all the way through school, and we're married today. We're 53 years we've been married, and she's good looking too. I out-punted my coverage in football.
Yeah.
In a football term. But the thing I tell you is just have fun, because I got some grandkids who are really good, but their fathers put pressure on them, not my sons, my son-in-laws. And I said, man, enjoy the time. Kid shot like a 61 in a tournament, and he was a little upset because he missed a couple putts. I said, are you kidding me? Just be glad you're where you're at. And you guys never even golfed, did you? How many kids golf in here? Look how very few, really. So there aren't a lot of guys who are golfers, but when you can do something that good at that age, it's pretty good. I'd say just enjoy, have fun, and don't put a lot of pressure on yourself.
Yeah, enjoy the journey, right? You're gonna learn throughout life.
Now, you guys who play football know what you should do. Learn how to snap, long snap, because nobody knows how to do it, and they're impossible to find.
All right, yeah, write those notes down.
I met a guy from I coached a guy at Duke, Patrick Manley. He played tackle, but I said, man, that guy could be a good center because he could snap, long snap. He went to the Bears and he played 16 years. His name is Patrick Manley. The easiest job in the world. Can't get hit. They can't hit the gut. They can't hit the center. It's against the rules. And you get to snap the ball and you travel and you eat with kids. You have the great life. And Patrick did that for 16 years. Now he's got a camp for snappers. You'd be surprised how many, nobody tries to be a snapper. But if you do it, you get real good at it real quick.
The job that kind of goes unseen, but
Unseen, unheard, yeah. And if the kicker misses, it's his fault.
Yeah.
But it's just different.
Okay. We'll go ahead and start to wrap up here, but I want to get the opportunity to ask you guys. Anybody else want to ask Joe one final question before we close out the program here? Got a lot of students in the building. Go right there on the end. Go ahead and say your name.
Are you a cheerleader? No. I think no. What's the question?
What's your question?
Gotta have some people. What team is that? What do you want? What's your favorite team or what?
Okay. So
Not a chance.
the Cowboys, Joe.
Cowboys. Oh my gosh. You're not voting for them. I'm here cheering for them. Don't do that.
Well, they say the Cowboys are America's team, Joe, but
yeah,
you're pulling for the Bills.
I'm pulling for the Bills, but I like Philadelphia too. I like the coaches.
Well, one of those two teams could match up with them, the Cowboys or Eagles. Yeah,
could be them. But anyhow,
okay. Well, students, we heard a lot of great messages today, so I really encourage you to take what you learned from Joe to heart. Right, all these stories about his passions, about his career. About all the character qualities that he learned throughout his life. So really, embrace those, learn from those, and you guys can apply to them for your life. So with that, we're going to wrap up this installment of the Heart of a Hall of Famer series featuring class of 03 Pro Football Hall of Famer, Joe DeLamielleure. So give Joe one final round of applause here.
you can ask me.
All right. Thank you guys. We're going to wrap up here.
Just off the thing.